There's a certain kind of silence that doesn't feel peaceful. It feels off. It creeps under your skin. That's what officers described the moment they entered apartment 3C on Hemlock Street. A once cozy space frozen in time, dirty coffee mugs on the counter, a sketch pad left open on the couch, and beneath the floorboards, a nightmare no one in Maple Glen was prepared for. This is the story of Leah Stanson, and the man who lived just above her, quietly hiding the truth for 6 long months. Maple Glen isn't the kind of place where stories like this are supposed to happen. It's a quiet town nestled just 90 minutes outside of Albany, surrounded by forests and farmlands. With fewer than 3,500 residents, it feels like a place plucked straight from a Hallmark movie. Seasonal festivals, bake sales at the church, kids riding bikes down sleepy cul-de-sacs. People know their neighbors here, or at least they think they do. Leah Stanson had only lived in Maple Glen for 8 months. She wasn't flashy or loud, but her presence left an impression. At 34, she was carving out a new chapter after a bitter divorce from her husband of 10 years. A children's book illustrator by trade, she found peace in quiet routines, morning walks with her dog Penny, herbal tea from the local cafe, sketching outside on her tiny balcony when the weather allowed. She rented the 3rd-floor unit of an aging but charming triplex on Hemlock Street, a street known for its ivy-covered fences and neighbors who still return borrowed Tupperware. Her landlord, Artie Thomas, was semi-retired and did most of the maintenance himself. Leah was never late with rent, never caused trouble, just a gentle soul, which made her sudden disappearance all the more unsettling. It started with silence. Leah didn't show up to her weekly Zoom call with her sister Emily, who lived in Chicago. Emily tried texting, calling, even sending a birthday card that went unanswered. Neighbors noticed the change too. Her plants on the balcony had started to wilt. Penny wasn't seen trotting down the sidewalk anymore. And by the end of March, Leah's mailbox was overflowing. Her landlord chalked it up to a rushed move. Maybe she left town, he'd said. Artists are spontaneous. But Emily knew better. Leah wasn't spontaneous. She was consistent, methodical. She wouldn't just disappear without telling anyone. Emily filed a missing person report on April 2nd. That was 44 days after Leah was last seen alive. The case landed on the desk of Detective Monica Reyes, one of the few women in the county's small investigations unit. She had a reputation for catching things others missed. And from day one, she didn't like what she was seeing. There was no activity on Leah's bank account, no credit card use, no social media posts. But her phone last pinged near her apartment on the night of February 17th at exactly 11:14 p.m. After that, nothing. When detectives entered Leah's apartment for the first time on April 5th, the atmosphere was chilling. It didn't look abandoned, it looked paused. Her winter coat still hung by the door. A grocery list sat on the counter. Even her glasses were resting beside her laptop. What stood out most was a large, slightly faded bloodstain on the hardwood, mostly hidden beneath a throw rug. Someone had tried to scrub it with bleach, but under forensic light, it glowed like a warning. Suddenly, this wasn't a missing persons case anymore. The brownstone had only 2 other residents, an elderly woman on the ground floor who heard nothing unusual, and a 29-year-old tenant named Daniel Kearns on the 2nd floor. Daniel was polite, well-groomed, and mostly kept to himself. Worked from home as an IT tech. He claimed he hadn't seen Leah in weeks and assumed she moved out in a hurry. At first glance, Daniel seemed normal, helpful even. He let officers into the building, chatted casually, but a deeper look revealed cracks. Security footage from a nearby hardware store placed Daniel buying a shovel, industrial-strength trash bags, bleach, and duct tape, all within 48 hours of Leah's disappearance. His excuse? Had a plumbing leak. Needed to clean up the mess. Officers noted it, but it wasn't enough. Then came the dog. On August 23rd, a town utility worker doing repairs near an alley spotted a thin, dirty spaniel wandering alone. The dog was skittish but allowed him to approach. A quick scan at the local vet revealed the microchip. Penny, Leah's dog. The discovery reignited the investigation. Why was Leah's dog still in town and alone? Detectives obtained a full warrant for the property and began a floor-to-ceiling search of the triplex. What they found shook even the most hardened officers. In the building's basement, behind a poorly constructed drywall panel, they uncovered a hidden storage area. It was cramped, dusty, and reeked of rot. Buried under plastic sheeting, paint cans, and layers of insulation was a makeshift false floor. And underneath it, wrapped in layers of plastic and duct tape, was Leah. Her body was partially decomposed. Autopsy results showed blunt force trauma to the skull and several defensive wounds to her arms and hands. She had fought back. Daniel Kearns was arrested that evening. Under intense interrogation, his facade cracked. His real name wasn't Daniel. It was Stephen Kearns, a name that, when searched, opened a chilling past. He had been implicated, but never charged, in 2 previous stalking incidents in Vermont. In both cases, the women reported feeling watched, followed, harassed. But nothing had stuck. He'd changed his name, moved states, and started over. Detectives believe Leah discovered something, perhaps an old piece of mail or a search result, and confronted him. That night, something snapped. In a panic to protect his secrets, Stephen killed her, then spent the night cleaning up, hiding her body in the basement he knew no one used. For the next 6 months, he smiled at neighbors, went grocery shopping, helped shovel snow from the sidewalk, all while Leah was buried just 15 feet below him. The town was devastated. Shock turned to grief, then rage. How had they missed the signs? How had someone so dangerous lived among them? At Leah's memorial, dozens of townspeople gathered, leaving candles, flowers, and hand-drawn tributes, many from local children who had grown up reading her books. Detective Reyes, in a tearful press statement, said, "We didn't just lose Leah. We lost a sense of safety." Emily Stanson, Leah's sister, created a foundation in her memory. It funds background checks for tenants and offers resources to women who feel threatened or unsafe but lack the evidence to be heard. Stephen Kearns pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 35 years to life. He offered no apology, no explanation, just a cold stare as Leah's family spoke at the sentencing hearing. The apartment remains empty. Locals say strange sounds still echo from the building's basement, though it's probably just the wind through old pipes. Still, in a town like Maple Glen, the echoes of what happened linger. Sometimes, Detective Reyes would later say, the scariest monsters aren't the ones hiding in the woods, they're the ones holding the door open for you.